Welcome to UCL Partners Introduction to Quality Improvement, Module 5. As we have previously discussed, the IHI's model for improvement is separated into two main parts. The first part is the three fundamental questions which we have covered in the previous modules. We are now going to look at the second part of the IHI model for improvement, the PDSA cycle. The PDSA cycle provides a way to quickly test change on a small scale, observe what happens, tweak the changes as necessary, and then test again, perhaps with a larger or broader test group. The PDSA cycle allows for small, rapid tests of change rather than spending weeks or months planning a complex change only to find that it doesn't work when you put it into practice.
Your learning objectives for Module 5 are to understand the importance of PDSA cycles. This includes understanding what the plan, the do, the study, and the act means, how you will use these in your quality improvement project, and how it will help you with your improvements.
The PDSA cycle for learning and improving. P. Plan. What will happen if we try something different? D. Do. Let's try it. S. Study. Did it work? A. Act. What's next? Let's look at each of these stages in more detail. Plan. What do you want to test? On who? Where? And when? Consider what do you expect to happen? What are your predictions? How will you measure its success? Who is going to carry out the test? What information is important to collect, and why is it important? Who will collect and analyse the data? How and when will the data, measures or observations, be collected? It is important to plan quickly. You shouldn't spend too much time on this, but it is the most important part of any PDSA cycle. It's the prediction, as it represents current knowledge about how a process or system will behave in the future. Do. This is where the ongoing learning begins. It's important to do it quickly. You shouldn't spend too much time planning. Carry out the test. Document what happened when you tried to accomplish the tasks. What seemed hard or awkward? What steps did people skip or alter? Start small. Avoid analysis paralysis. Don't get too fixated on measurement and instead use it to guide your improvement work. Study. When predictions are compared with actual outcomes, they can reveal gaps in our current understanding of why a process or system behaves the way it does. Analyse the data, look at what happened, and compare it to what you predicted would happen. Decide whether the change led to an improvement. Study. To study, you need to analyse the data, look at what happened, and compare it to what you predicted would happen, and then decide whether the change led to an improvement. Act. Adopt, adapt, or discard your change idea. What additional changes need to be made? What worked? What didn't? Refine your test and test again on a larger scale, applying what you've learnt. The comparison allows us to decide whether to adopt, adapt, or discard the change idea. The sequence of improvement. Now that you've studied the results of the test phase, it's time to think about what you've learned, apply that learning, and test again. This is called linking PDSA test cycles. Each test will generate lots of useful information and tells you what you should do differently next time. Based on what you discover during the study phase, you might expand the test, adjust it, or abandon it, and test one of your other change ideas. Adopt, adapt, or discard. Don't forget, it's not just the change idea that you might want to tweak. For example, you may want to change how you collect your data, the setting that you test your change idea in, or the people who test it. While working through linked tests, you will have a chance to find solutions to the issues you encounter. until you're ready to implement the change in one location. The more PDSA cycles you do, the more chance your changes are successful. Here is a very simple PDSA adapted from our earlier driver diagram. Let's look back at reducing the number of patient falls example. One of our change ideas is to implement online falls prevention training. We would implement this training amongst a small group of staff, potentially starting with one member. Following the online training, we would follow up to understand, was the training helpful? Was it easy to understand? Was anything missing? Was it the right duration of time? Did the training take place within work hours or in their own time? We would then assess if any changes needed to take place and either adapt, make changes and retest, adopt and scale up and test on 5 more members of staff, for example. We could also discard and try a different change idea if the online training didn't work. The sequence of improvement. Now that you've studied the results of the test phase, it's time to think about what you've learned, apply that learning and test again. This is called linking PDSA test cycles. Each test will generate lots of useful information and tells you what you should do differently next time. Based on what you discover during the study phase, you might expand the test, adjust it or abandon it and test one of your other change ideas. Adopt, adapt or discard. Don't forget, it's not just the change idea that you might want to tweak. For example, you may want to change how you collect your data, the setting that you test your change idea in, or the people who test it. While working through linked tests, you will have a chance to find solutions to the issues you encounter, until you're ready to implement the change in one location. The more PDSA cycles you do, the more chance your changes are successful. It's really important to annotate each PDSA cycle and plot your results on a run chart so you can identify what changes are making an improvement, as we previously discussed in the measurement module. We have just looked at the sequence of improvement and how to accelerate successful change ideas. As you can see from this run chart, the first 2 PDSA cycles of creating a standardised assessment tool and online falls prevention training were successful in reducing the number of patient falls until November, when a new change idea was tested to continue to improve the outcomes of reducing the number of patient falls on the ward. Here are a few tips for PDSA cycles. Think ahead. You already know you'll want to do multiple tests, so make your life easier by planning for it. Think a couple of cycles ahead, testing over a wide range of conditions and collecting useful data from each test to guide the next one. Start small. Keep it simple at the beginning. Scale down the size of the test. For instance, start with just one provider testing a change with one patient. By testing small, we remove some of the barriers typically associated with large-scale change, like fear and uncertainty. Instead, PDSAs let you adopt a "let's try it" attitude and work towards reaching your goal while minimising risks. Get started. Don't wait around. Ask, what change can we test by next Friday? So why PDSA? PDSA helps you to learn about your change idea. It's important to document what you have learnt with the test and whether it is successful or not. It helps you to understand the impact. You are making a small change to one variable and measuring the change so you understand its impact. PDSA helps reduce anxiety because your changes are small, so anxiety about trying it is reduced. It provides opportunities for you to adapt and retest. You can retest and adapt as you roll out to each new environment. It creates a sense of ownership. Ownership of a change contributes to sustainability. Failures are small, so damage is limited. The system hasn't changed yet, so you don't have to undo things. And it helps you to identify successful change and then replicate this. So, to finish this section off, we have a lesson from Thomas Edison. After Thomas Edison's 10,000th unsuccessful attempt to invent electric light, he was asked by a New York Times reporter, "How does it feel to have failed 10,000 times?" He responded, "I have not failed 10,000 times. I have not failed once. I have succeeded in proving that those 10,000 ways will not work. When I have eliminated the ways that will not work, I will find the way that will work." Now, isn't that a great way of looking at things? If you don't succeed, you're not failing. You're working out how not to do something and getting closer to the end result each time. And if you document, then you can make sure that the next person to come along won't make the same choices that you did.
Click on the link to watch a short video. Can you count how many tests of changes were completed, who wrote down the results, and who was measuring? This is a fun video that really highlights the importance of PDSA cycles. From completing PDSA cycles, you learn from each change idea, understand what change ideas are working. It facilitates team working and sharing ideas and promotes constant testing to achieve your aim. We hope you enjoy watching it.
Now it's your turn. Turn to page 10 in your workbook and choose one of your change ideas from your driver diagrams and follow the template provided. Complete the plan section and consider how your change idea would work if you tested it in practice.
Please refer to our resources section. We have a number of activities for you to complete with your team. These activities will help you to understand the basic principles of the Model for Improvement and PDSA cycles. It will also help those who are new to quality improvement gain an overview of how quality improvement can help you to achieve your aim and make improvements. This may be beneficial when trying to get members of staff on board with your project. Remember, engage your stakeholders early on, start small, keep it simple, only use 6 measures, document as you go along, and share your success and QI journey.
Congratulations, you have now completed UCL Partners Introduction to Quality Improvement online training modules. You will be asked to complete a short test to assess your knowledge and understanding. Please follow the guidance provided to complete this to receive your certificate. Additional opportunities will be updated on our website and emailed to those who have completed our modules. To opt out, please email the team. If you would like any further support, please contact qi@uclpartners.com, where we'll be happy to help you.